Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about ionic compounds. We discussed about the properties of ionic compounds. In case of ionic compounds, we learned that ionic compounds are formed due to the total electron transfer to metal to non-metal. Means metals loses electron, the non-metal gains electron, and both of them will get opposite charge. And the opposite charged ions, that is cation and anion, they attract each other. Due to electrostatic attraction force, they bind together to form the compound that is called the ionic compound. Here, if we take the example sodium and the non-metal chlorine. Chlorine, it contains 7 valence electrons. Sodium, it contains 1 valence electron. Sodium lose 1 electron and chlorine gain that electron. As a result, sodium it will form Na plus and chlorine it will form Cl minus. Okay, as it gains electron it will be negative, so it will form Cl minus. Now Na plus and Cl minus both are oppositely charged ions. They attract each other due to the electrostatic attraction force. They bind together to form the compound that is called the ionic compound. So in the last class we discussed about it. So here Na plus and Cl minus they combine to form the ionic compound. Very easy. So in today's class we'll discuss about the covalent compound instead of ionic compound. Here we learned that if the number of valence electrons is 1, 2 or 3, like if we take the example of sodium, it contains 1 valence electron. Okay. If we take the example of magnesium, it contains 2 valence electrons. If we take the example of aluminium 283, it contains 3 valence electrons. Then they will lose electrons. Okay. Sodium, it will lose electron to form Na plus. Magnesium lose 2 electrons to form Mg2 plus. Aluminum, it lose 3 electrons to form Al3 plus. In the same form, so these are metals. And if we take the examples of oxygen, we take the example of fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen. Then fluorine atomic number 9 electronic configuration 2,7. So fluorine it will accept 1 electron to form F minus. Oxygen electronic configuration 2,6. It will gain 2 electrons and it will form O2 minus. Nitrogen electronic configuration 2,5. It can gain 3 electrons to form N3 minus. Thus they can form the negative ions. Now this the positive and negative ions, they attract each other to form the ionic compound. If we take the example Na plus F minus, they combine to form NaF. Na plus O2 minus, it will combine to form Na2O, sodium oxide. Na plus N3 minus, it will form Na3N, sodium nitrite. Okay. Mg2 plus, it combines with F minus to form MgF2, magnesium fluoride. Mg2 plus, it combines with O2 minus to form MgO, magnesium oxide. Mg2 plus combines with N3 minus to form Mg3N2, magnesium nitride. This types of compounds will be formed here. So it's clear that if the number of valence electrons is 1, 2 or 3, then the atom lose electron. If the number of valence electron is 5, 6 or 7, then the atom will gain electron to form the negative ion, and the atom lose electron to form the positive ion, and at that time they will form the ionic compound. Okay, so to form the ionic compounds there is a condition. There is the metal, it should contain 1, 2 or 3 number of valence electrons, whereas the non-metal which will form the negative ion, it should contain 5, 6 or 7 valence electrons. Now what will happen if the atom contains 4 valence electrons? तो क्या होगा अगर किसी एटम के पास 4 वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन हो. If we take the example of carbon, so carbon atomic number is 6, electronic configuration 2,4, so it contains 4 valence electron. So it is not possible to form C4 plus and C4 minus ion by carbon. कार्बन से C4 plus या C4 minus ion, ये दोनों में से कोई भी ion नहीं बनेगा. In the next chapter, in the fourth chapter, and the first topic will discuss about this question. नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में फर्स्ट टॉपिक में हम लोग इस क्वेश्चन को टच करेंगे. बिफोर दैट आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू दिस, ट्राई टू रिमेंबर दिस वन, दैट इज कार्बन इट विल नॉट बी एबल टू फॉर्म C4 प्लस एंड C4 माइनस आयन. तो कार्बन आयन फॉर्म नहीं करेगा, दैट्स व्हाई कार्बन इट विल नॉट फॉर्म द आयनिक कंपाउंड. आयन बनाएगा तभी तो जाके आयनिक कंपाउंड बनाएगा. तो आयन ही नहीं बना रहा था, आयनिक कंपाउंड बनाने का कोई क्वेश्चन ही नहीं आ रहा है. ठीक है, तो कार्बन इट विल नॉट फॉर्म द आयनिक कंपाउंड्स. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन, द कार्बन it contains 4 valence electrons here. Okay, So if it is combined with an element having monovalent element, suppose monovalent atom means the atom whose valency is 1. अगर ऐसा कोई एटम के साथ कार्बन कंबाइन करे जिसका वैलेंसी 1 है, देन इट विल कंबाइन विद 4 मोनोवैलेंट एटम्स. तो इसको 4 मोनोवैलेंट एटम के साथ कंबाइन करना होगा. Now if we take the monovalent atom hydrogen, so hydrogen valence is 1, so it is monovalent atom, so it will combine with 4 hydrogen atoms, to form CH4. So here what will happen, the number of valence electron of hydrogen is 2, for this hydrogen it is 2, for this hydrogen it is 2, and for this hydrogen it is 2. So all have the field duplet means the valence electron is 2. So here now number of valence electron in carbon it will be this. Okay, so here the number of valence electron in carbon, that is 2, 4, 6, 8. So all have the field octet, all have the field duplet. Okay, so this one, this NCH4. So now by sharing of electrons, this bond is formed due to the sharing of electrons, and the compound that is also formed due to the sharing of electrons. So these types of bonds are called covalent bond, and the compound that is formed due to the formation of covalent bond, that is called the covalent compound. So if I ask you the question, that is what do you mean by covalent compound, so you will say the compound that is formed due to the formation of covalent bond in between atoms. एटम के बीच में कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड बन के जो कंपाउंड फॉर्म होते हैं उसी को हम लोग कोवैलेंट कंपाउंड बोलेंगे. ओके, तो एटम के बीच में कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड के थ्रू में जो कंपाउंड फॉर्म होंगे उसका हम लोग कोवैलेंट कंपाउंड बोलेंगे. नाउ हाउ द कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड इज फॉर्म्ड, कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड इज फॉर्म्ड ड्यू टू द शेयरिंग ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. तो कोवैलेंट बॉन्ड दो एटम के बीच में इलेक्ट्रॉन शेयर होने से फॉर्म होते हैं. तो वी टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस. Suppose if we take the example of H2, then two hydrogen atoms are there. Now this hydrogen contain one valence electron, and this hydrogen also contain one valence electron. So it will donate one electron, it will donate the same. So what will happen, they will form the electron pair here, and both of them use this electron pair. Okay, now this the valence electron of hydrogen it is 2, and the first shell of hydrogen it is filled by 2 electrons. So the first shell of hydrogen is filled, and for this hydrogen it is also filled. So both will form both will share this electron pair and they form a single bond. So this one is the covalent bond. So remember there are three types of covalent bonds, or three types of covalent bonds are there. There is single bond, double bond, and triple bond. Let us discuss about them. Okay, if one electrons are shared here, then it will form a single bond. दो अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन मतलब एक इलेक्ट्रॉन अगर शेयर होगा तो फिर क्या होगा कि सिंगल बॉन्ड बनेगा. जैसे दो पॉइंट लेके इसमें से एक दो पॉइंट को टच कर मतलब कंबाइन करेंगे तो फिर एक लाइन मिल रहा है, मतलब सिंगल बॉन्ड बन रहा है यहाँ पे. So if we take the example of O2, then oxygen atomic number is 8, electronic configuration 2,6. So oxygen contains 6 valence electron here, so it will donate 2 electrons, and this oxygen will donate 2 electrons. What will happen? They will form 2 electron pair. Okay, they will form the 2 electron pairs. Now the number of valence electron for this oxygen atom is 8, and for this oxygen atom it is also 8. So what will happen? They will form O double bond O. Okay, so in between two oxygen atom there is a double bond. Okay, this double bond contains 4 electrons. It can be observed from here. It contains 4 electrons or 2 electron pairs. Right? If we take the example of N2, now N atomic number 7 is electronic configuration 2,5. So one nitrogen atom contains 5 valence electrons. Now here it is. Now they will share 3 electrons. So what will happen? Now this nitrogen will contain 6 to 8 valence electrons, and this nitrogen it also contains 8 valence electrons. As we know, according to octet rule, all the atoms try to keep 8 electrons in their valence shell. सभी एटम चाहते हैं उनके वैलेंस शेल में 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन हो जाए, एंड इट विल गेन द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिगरेशन लाइक इट्स नियरेस्ट नोबल गैस, और इसका इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिगरेशन इसके नियरेस्ट नोबल गैस की तरह हो जाए, एंड दिस रूल इज कॉल्ड द ऑक्टेट रूल. So here two nitrogen atom, they will share 3 electrons, and they will form 3 electron pairs, that is triple bond. Okay, तो ये दोनों को अगर जोड़ देंगे, देखो 1 2 3, तो 3 बॉन्ड फॉर्म हो रहा है. So in between two nitrogen atoms there are triple bond, and this electron pairs which are not participating, this electron pairs, यहाँ पे जो एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन, दो इलेक्ट्रॉन मतलब एक पेयर, दो इलेक्ट्रॉन का जो पेयर हमें दिख रहा है जो बॉन्डिंग में पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किए उनको हम लोग बोलेंगे लोन पेयर। ओके, उनको हम लोग बोलेंगे लोन पेयर। और द इलेक्ट्रॉन विच इज प्रेजेंट इन कोवलेंट बॉन्ड और इन बॉन्ड दैट इज कॉल्ड द बॉन्ड पेयर। Okay, means in triple bond there are three bond pairs. Okay, three bond pairs, and number of lone pair it depends upon the time by which atoms the bond is formed. Okay. So it has been observed that in covalent compounds there are three types of covalent bonds. There is single bond, double bond, and triple bond. So there are three types of covalent bonds. How the covalent bonds are formed? Due to the sharing of electrons in between two atoms. तो दो एटम के बीच में due to the sharing of same number of electrons, and you can say like this that two atoms donate the same number of electrons and they form the electron pair. Both of them use the electron pair, and the bond that is formed in between them due to which the bond is formed in between them, that is called the covalent bond. And the compound that is formed due to the formation of covalent bond in between two atoms, that is called the covalent compound. ओके, तो दो एटम सेम नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनेट किए, इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर बनाए, इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर को दोनों मिलकर यूज कर रहे हैं, तो ये दो एटम के बीच में जो बॉन्ड बनेगा उसको हम लोग कोवलेंट बॉन्ड बोलेंगे। ओके, this is what is the covalent compound. Now let me discuss that what are the differences in between the covalent and ionic compound. Okay, so this one is the last topic for this chapter, except the deleted portion. Let me compare ionic compound and covalent compound. Okay. Ionic compound and covalent compound on the basis of their properties. So first here we'll write the properties. Okay, here we'll write the properties. Okay, here is ionic compound, here is covalent compound. I think all are visible to you, तो सब तो दिख रहा होगा, इसको थोड़ा सा घुमा देते हैं। ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़े। तो फर्स्ट नंबर वन स्टेट इट हैज बीन ऑब्जर्व्ड दैट आयनिक कंपाउंड्स आर जनरली सॉलिड। ओके, आयनिक कंपाउंड्स आर सॉलिड, सोडियम क्लोराइड को याद करके करें। ओके, कोवलेंट कंपाउंड्स दे आर जनरली लिक्विड और गैसियस। ओके, इट हैज बीन ऑब्जर्व्ड दैट कोवलेंट कंपाउंड्स आर जनरली लिक्विड और गैसियस। ठीक है, अच्छा number 2 melting point and boiling point. Remember MP melting point, BP boiling point. Okay. The melting and boiling point is very high in case of ionic compound because in case of ionic compounds the oppositely charged ions are attract each other due to electrostatic attraction force. They bind together to form the compound. That's why as the strong electrostatic attraction force is working here, as a result the melting and boiling point in case of ionic compound is very high. ionic compound का melting boiling point बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं क्योंकि ionic compound में ions के बीच में बहुत ही strong electrostatic attraction force present होते हैं. Now if we discuss about the covalent compound, that is the melting and boiling point in case of covalent compound, it is quite low. Okay, the melting and boiling point of covalent compound is low. I am just writing like this one. You have to write it by explaining it. ठीक है, आपको इसको थोड़ा सा explain करके लिखना है. Number 3, explain क्या करेंगे? The melting and boiling point of covalent compound is low. ये लिखना है, easily. अच्छा, next one, conductivity. Okay, conductivity means electrical conductivity we are discussing about. Okay, here it is poor conductor of electricity in solid state or in solid form. Okay, but good conductor of electricity, good conductor of electricity good conductor of electricity in molten form or in aqueous medium. Okay. It can conduct electricity in molten form or in aqueous medium. Okay, I think it can be visible. There is poor conductor of electricity in solid form. Poor conductor of electricity in solid form, but good conductor of electricity, in molten form or in aqueous medium. So here generally do not conduct electricity. Okay. The covalent compounds generally do not conduct electricity. They are not able to conduct electricity. And I on this one. So generally, covalent compounds cannot conduct electricity. So why I am writing generally? There are some covalent compounds they can conduct electricity. These covalent compounds are polar covalent compounds. And what is the meaning of polar covalent compounds? We'll discuss about it in the next chapter, not in this chapter. Okay. Now the last one, that is fourth point. I'm just writing here. When using this, the fourth point, that is solubility. Soluble ionic compounds are soluble in water, but less soluble in organic solvent. Okay, less soluble in organic solvent, or you can say very less soluble. Okay, sometimes it can be assumed as that it is not or insoluble in water, insoluble in organic solvent, right? Ionic compounds are soluble in water. Ionic compound वाटर में डिसॉल्व होते हैं, पर ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट में डिसॉल्व नहीं होते हैं. Okay. Covalent compound soluble in, just opposite of this, in organic solvent, but less soluble, sometimes insoluble also, less soluble in water. Inside the book it is written that insoluble, but I am writing here less soluble. You can write insoluble also, but there is a condition of covalent compound, that is, if the covalent compound is polar, then the covalent compound will be soluble in water. Polar covalent compounds are soluble in water. So I am not discussing what about the polar covalent compounds in this class. If I get one more class, then and in that class it will be discussed. Otherwise, this topic will be discussed in the next chapter. Okay, to learn up to this one is a very important question, that is the comparison in between ionic and covalent compound. तो इतना तक साइड कर देते थोड़ा सा. ओके, तो आप लोग इतना तक पढ़ाई करें और नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग बाकी बातचीत करेंगे. थैंक यू.